Hi, good afternoon, good evening, good day, good morning, everybody. My name is Albert Tan from downloadsilo.com. Uh, Together with me is Agni Chatterjee from this Passvault, and we are here to give you a live webinar on this password manager for Teams called Password. So before we actually start the webinar proper, I would like to ask you to give permission to this Be Live to show your name as well as your photo when you are commenting in the Facebook Live. So you can see that the link is Be Live /group-comments. So please click that link and give permission to this Be Live to show your name as well as your photo when you're commenting on the live. So if you have done that, please say hi in the chat so that we know who you are and whether you can see us or not. Okay, so without further ado, I would like to say a few words about this live webinar. So today we actually invited this Agni, founder of this Password, and we are here to welcome you. Agni, can you say hi to everybody?
Hello everyone, I'm Agni, founder of Passvault. Very excited to do this webinar with Albert Tan. Thank you, Albert Tan, for hosting this.
Okay, so before we actually start into the webinar proper, I would like to ask you a few questions. So Agni, where are you from?
I am currently in India. It's a city called Vadodara. I'm currently staying there. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Okay, so yeah, I mean, when I say where are you from, so basically I want to know more about your company. The reason
Yeah.
why you
So
actually start this passport.
yeah, so I started into just I was initially into server businesses. I was providing hosting spaces for people. The hosting business kind of expanded a bit, and then we started kind of deploying open source applications and tools for clients. And also, like based on certain requirements, we would also create installers of complex open source tools, like for streaming, for video streaming, audio streaming, file access, transferring data at very high speeds, things like that. So I have experience of around 8 years now running the company, and what I understood in, like, when I think I joined the LTD communities 3 years ago, I think. So a lot of discussion around open source happens, but I think other than WordPress, for most users, it's not very simple to install, deploy open source tools. So that is why 3 years ago I decided that whatever I was doing for certain clients, hosting this application in their infrastructure, I thought that how can I make it easier for people to kind of get the same benefits of using world-class open source tools, and at the same time, make it an affordable thing, so more people can use such applications without have to bother with the server, then installing the application, maintaining it, and thinking that, oh, there will be no support for this program whatsoever. So those are the problem points and the pain points that we realized, and since we had decent amount of experience, I thought that it would be a good place to kind of get into, because we also have some DevOps. We have actually a lot of DevOps background, so that kind of matched together, and this is what was like one of the best tools we were personally using within our company. So I thought, why not start with this? So this is approximately the basic idea of why we started with Passvault. Yes.
Yeah, that's cool. And we know that how big is your team? I mean, behind this project, passport.
So see, it's like Since the company has been running for many years, so a few of our products are already mature. So a lot of people from our old team are in the Password project as well, because the senior devs involved in the process of building this. We have tried to kind of look into things in a way that there are no bugs and things like that. Currently, the team size involved in Passvault and this open source project is 10. So there are two senior devs, and then there is another dev who is mostly involved in architecture. There are two junior devs backend. Then there is one front end developer, and then for me building the website and doing the basic graphic design, there is one person, and there are two people in support. So this is basically the kind of strength we have right now for Password. We would not try to increase our numbers as far as we are concerned mindlessly, because then it spreads the profit thin. So if you can, we are trying to manage with a small team, but we have very experienced people in the team, so that is there.
Mhm. Yeah, thank you for your information. So basically, I would say that this password is something that everybody should need it, whether you have other competitors' product as well, because when we are online, we have to key in password, we have to key in what they call login ID, username, that kind of thing. So let me ask you, why do you choose this architecture, the Bitwarden architecture, to as your backbone for this password?
See, we chose open source primarily for two reasons. So Bitwarden is one of the safest password managers available. You can read it online. Their encryption is one of the best, and the security in Bitwarden is tested by third party, and it is completely secure. The second thing is that Bitwarden provides the front end. We are only using the front end, the encryption part, and the encryption part of Bitwarden. But the features in the regular Bitwarden plan is limited. So we thought that we combined this other project called Vault Warden with Bitwarden and created a combined a tool which has all the features and premium features and team functions and all kind of security measures. And as far as features goes, it is one of the most advanced in the market. On our website we have a section called Why Password, and you can see easily like all the features in like top password managers like OnePass, LastPass, Dashlane. All the features are already there in Password, so it is comparable to one of the best products out there. And it is by no means beta, because it's already in its version. Already nearing version 2.5. So it's probably one of the most advanced open source password manager tools out there. Yeah, that is why we chose it.
Okay. So since we have actually quite a number of people here, yeah, I mean online watching our Facebook live, I would like to invite you to do your proper presentation. So let me share your screen.
Yes. Yeah. So I think I kind of explained a bit like our vision and all. So we are mostly into the open source, but I'll try to give like one of the I think important questions that we I always was facing is how password works. So basically the front end is Bitwarden open source, and it has like the web vault and all the apps of Bitwarden works with Passvault. The back end is Vault Warden, and we have combined it together to make it work. So for the user, you won't see all this. You will see the front end of the Bitwarden, but every feature will work seamlessly for you. So what was the idea of password was to make a complete password solution. So it is like a complete password solution for teams and all kind of security, and it supports all premium Bitwarden features and apps. So if want to kind of tell you, like, this is one open source backend, which is Vault Warden, and then the front end is Bitwarden, and when you combine them both, Passvault is created. Uh, so yeah, I mean, since it is open source, anyone can probably self-host. But the benefit in this case is, like, in open source, mostly we know about WordPress, and but one of the reason it is very popular is because it is easier to host. But we found that people are not really comfortable in setting up servers by themselves, and then deploying more complex open source tools like combining Vault Warden and then Bitwarden and creating the combined tool was much more complex. So we kind of automated the DevOps part of setting everything up, and we kind of created a one-click installer which unlocks all the pro features in Bitwarden, and you can use it seamlessly. So why open source? So a lot of people ask why use open source. So there are many benefits of open source. Primarily is the code can be scrutinized by programmers worldwide. So if there is a new company coming up with a password manager, and if their code is not open source, it's very hard for you to kind of judge whether the company is whether the code is really secure or not. But in case of Passvault, you can easily scrutinize the code, and any programmer worldwide, there are like 16,000 stars in the GitHub project, so it's very well scrutinized. It is one of the best password managers out there. I mean, hands down, if you ask most security concerned people, Bitwarden will probably rank very high in the system. So we used the front end from Bitwarden, and the third thing is that you have the option to download the source code. So we do not believe in, like, locking, or not showing what is running in the back end of the program, because it is a security application. We think that it's very critical that what is running in the background. So at any time you have the option to download the source code of the application that is running. And even if you're well versed with open source tools, and in future you want to self host it yourself, that is also an option for you. So I think that these are some major open source. And another benefit of self host is, a lot of times, like, companies might survive, might not survive, but uh, we hopefully will survive. But it's always a better thing that in case something happens, then you also have an option to self host it yourself. Those are some major benefits of open source. What are the features of Password? So it's a easy one-click setup. You can easily set up custom domains, store your password, credit cards, and other information seriously. Password generators help. There's a password generator. It can help you create very strong passwords. Share your password among a group or team members. So one of the major feature that we have in Passvault is that the team features are completely unlocked, and you can create unlimited organizations, and there are team group policies. So it's all like premium features that you kind of see at an enterprise level password manager. Those features are already there. Since we are using the front end of Bitwarden, so it works on all devices, Apple, Windows, all browsers. So the extension, it supports all devices basically. TOTP is built in the Pass Manager. TOTP is basically Google Authenticator, and which is built in the Pass Manager. So you do not have to depend on a secondary app to kind of get your 2FA code. Within Passvault itself, you can set up your TOTP, and from the extension, whenever you're trying to log in, you can copy the TOTP password. There is also a feature for sharing encrypted notes and files within the team, and you can also share it externally, but we recommend that if you have such important files, to kind of share it within the team itself. And for security aspect, for people who are really concerned about the vault, this Password supports all major multi-factor authentication like Duo, which is by Cisco, WebAuthn, which you can create at an hardware level. Then there is Google Authenticator. You can definitely use Google Authenticator, and also hardware authenticator like YubiKey if you prefer that. So uh, we about us, we've been operating in SaaS DevOps domain since 2015. We've developed over 8,000 instances, deployed over 8,000 instances of open source tools. Majorly involved in DevOps projects, and we started developing Passvault in 2019. So within our organization, we heavily use open source tools, and we are currently working on creating one-click installers like Password for other open source tools as well. So that is also something looking forward we are working to. So that's it for the slide, and I'll move on to now the presentation.
Okay. Thank you, Agni. So,
Yes.
I mean, this is your presentation. I think it's quite clear to me, but I'm not sure about other people. So, if other people in the audience are not sure anything, please ask your question in the chat, and we will come back to your question later to answer it. So now I would like to invite Agni to go into the app itself, how to create an account or whatever. He will show you how.
So creating account is pretty straightforward. Like you go to the website, you can choose the plan that you need, um, and you can click on get started. And yeah, I mean, you can choose these options, and according to the plan you choose, then you can sign up. In order to save time, what I've done is I've already registered. So once you log into your account, which is provided, you actually get to see a screen like this. Just a second. Yeah, so you will be kind of once you log into your account, you'll be seeing something like this. So this is the client area dashboard, and your active plan will be shown like this here. Once you click on your active plan, it will take you to the installer infrastructure. So yeah. Yeah, so the screen would look something like this. So now you have to select a subdomain. Subdomain is basically any name you can use your company identifier. Since this is like we've recently launched, you can probably find most of the names if you have a company. In this case, I'll just use anything random like past test. And then you have to press check. So what check does is it checks whether this is available subdomain or not. In case it is not available, like say if someone has already used something, then it will show that it will show failure. So in that case, you cannot register that. So in case of like I'll again go back and do the then check. In this case, it will tell me that it is successful. So once it is successful, I have to click register and then install. So what it does basically, what is it installing? So in our infrastructure, every individual user is basically running his or her own application. So it's not like the database is concentrated into one. So the entire application for each user runs in its own container. For people who are a bit more technical, that means that we are using Docker to create individual pods for each user. So, I mean, there is more security in it, and at the same time, in case you want to kind of self-host it yourself in future, you can just pull out the source code and then self-host it. So that option is there. In any case, once it is installed, what you can do is you can see the link here, and then you can directly go to the app. So this is what the Passvault infra will look like. One second. It's probably just set. Yeah. So it will show up like this. And for the first, you have to create the first user, which will be the who will be the admin user of this vault. So you have to click on create account and you have to fill in the details. I filled it up before, so it's giving me hints, but so I'll just use that. Yeah, one of the important thing is the master password. So we recommend keeping a very complex master password because this is the one password that you have to remember and keep it safe. Most of the people, what happens is they keep one password everywhere. So password manager helps you to remember one complex passwords and not remember the rest. So, but you have to keep in mind that you have to use a complex password here because it's like access to your vault. So keep that in mind and keep a complex password. And, and the second thing about master password is uh, that there is no way to recover the master password. So you have to keep that in mind because it's zero trust security. So there is no way we can access your vault. So, but that also comes with the problem that since we cannot access your vault, we have no um, there is no way we can see what master password you have kept. So in case you forget, there is no forget password in Passvault. It is done so to prevent hackers from using forgot password and all these techniques to hack. So keep that in mind. Master password is it's also written here is password vault. It is important. Do not forget. There is no way to recover the password in an event you forget it. So in case you forget, the entire vault has to be deleted. There is no other way to kind of access your password in the system. This is very critical. Remember this, and yeah, you can keep hint. Yeah, yeah.
Agni,
So master password.
Agni, may I interrupt? There is another way you have to, I mean, write down, download a copy of your password and keep it somewhere else. There is a feature, I don't know what you call that.
Yes,
Keep.
yes. Yes, the key is there, but this password is something I don't know. I mean, this is the most important key that you have. So, whatever way you have, you make a file, save it somewhere, print it out. I know people who are very security conscious. Sometimes they write it down and they print and keep it in a paper. So it all depends, like the level. The other thing is that it does have 2FA. In case you activate the 2FA, still it is even if you kept a weak password you can still be safe, but from the get go we suggest keep a complex password that you can probably remember in the system. So password hint, ideally keep something that is not very relatable, like say if your password is going to Amsterdam, don't put Amsterdam, just put something that only you know and makes sense to you. So in any case, I'll just put none and then click submit. So what this will do is create the first user. And yeah, but before the first user can there is a password verification. So the password verification, sorry, the email verification will get activated. The email verification mail will look something like this. So it is important because if the admin has put the wrong email ID, then there is no way to kind of recover that as well. So in order to confirm whether the email ID is proper or not, the first user have all the users have to verify their emails once. So you have to click on the verify email address now, mail that you will receive in your email which you had selected in your while signing up. So once you have done that, I don't know, it's because of video streaming that verify email is opening a little slow. Just a sec.
Yeah, I can see the, what they call, the network quality is not that good.
Yeah, I think. I mean, it's making my browser a little slower somehow. Not sure why. But any case, y- uh, it got verified, and now you can put your master password like this. Ideally, you should not save your password in the browser. Browser is a very insecure way of saving password, because if someone has access to your computer and you stored all your passwords in your browser, they can basically access everything. So I highly recommend, if you have been storing passwords in your browser, and stop doing it. Also, there are malwares which can, get access to this kind of stored password in browser, because they're very common. They create malwares which specifically target browsers like Chrome and things like that. So you have to keep in mind that ideally, if it is possible, never store any kind of password in your browser. It's highly recommended that way. So your vault looks like this. It's same as Bitwarden, because we are using the front end of Bitwarden. So the types of things that you can save login, your card, your identity like passport and all, of course photographs, and then you can also put secure notes and things like that. There's also a function like folders, so you can sort your different different logins into folders within this password system. So now the first thing that you have to do after setting this up is get the extension. So in our case, we are using Firefox. So I'll just open up the Firefox extension, and I'll get it added to Firefox. Just a second. Okay, so in most browsers, it is supported. Like here, you can see the browsers that are supported: Chrome, Safari, Firefox, Vivaldi, Opera, Brave, Edge. This one I'm not sure, but yeah, I mean, in most cases, most cases, you can see that there is an extension for almost all kind of application. So the initial extension would look like this. Just a second. Yeah. So once you open the extension, it will look like this. I've already copied the custom domain from here. You can see I've copied it, and here is written self-hosted environment. So what you have to do is you have to just put the um, link here, which is provided, the link which you've kind of set up during the initial setup, and then click save. So this is only one time thing, and then you can log in with the same credentials. So in my case, yeah. So you can see like the uh, extension now communicates with the web vault correctly, and everything is set up. Now the next thing is like you can add items. Generally, when you are logging into any application, it will show that whether you want to kind of store the password in Passvault. But in this case, I'm just generating it randomly. So say New York Times, username XYZ. This is the POTP generator which I was talking about initially. So like Google Authenticator provides the code. When you're setting up the password, if you have set up any authenticator applications, you just have to put the uh, specific code provided by the application here and save. So what happens is, say I'll just put randomly. I'm not sure if it will work with the random number. I'll just okay. One sec. Don't save. So it is now showing here, and in the extension when you open, so what will happen is like it periodically syncs with the main vault. But in case immediately if you're not getting the password, what you have to do is to you go to settings, and there is this sync option. So basically, sync option, what it does is that it will uh, ping to the main server about any changes, or in any application where you're, because there are multiple applications. So once you hit sync, all the application will have the same kind of data, but it also automatically syncs as well. So most of the times you won't require to do it. You see here, you can see the New York Time login has come up. And here the TOTP is also there. I've put random code, but like Authenticator app, what you do is if you click on it, it will generate some code, which I'll show you. Yeah, so it has generated the OTP code. So if you have activated 2FA in some website, it will kind of, you do not need to use your phone all the time to kind of set up the authentication code. You can directly set it up in Passvault, and you can use it. So now the other tools, the other functions is send. So send, you can there are two kind of send. One is the text. So text is basically one second, any specific text that you need to send uh, encrypted. You can use Password. The data gets completely encrypted. The use case would be, say you're sharing some important code with someone, or programming code, or some important information. Then it is a good idea to use Password in this case. So that option is completely there. It also has options like delete the file. So you can choose for how much time the link will be alive. So you can select 1 hour, and after 1 hour the file will get deleted and no one can access it. And you can also set expiration date and maximum access count. So say you want to let the user only download it once, and then the link dies. So you can also set it like say 1 and then save it. So the moment the user kind of accesses the file, the link will go dead. Also, you can password protect the um, um, link. So those are the function. And then of course you can write some notes below. So there are also option like hide my email from recipients, disable send. So these are something, if you need it, you can look at it. In terms of file, it is also similar. Just one sec. Yeah. So file is also similar. In case of file, you can directly send some encrypted file. So a lot of the usage generally we have within our organization is, we are, for SSH login we are using keys, and sometimes we are sending it to from one user to another. So in this case, we can save those SSH keys and send them through Passvault. So it is encrypted, and there is no way someone can get access to it. It has similar features like the text file option. So I'll probably not go through them again. It's pretty much the same. You can choose expiration and things like that. So this is the send option that is there. Then there are certain tools which you can use. So there is this generator. So how so one of the problems is when you are setting up a password, a lot of time we get lazy, and we keep the easiest thing possible, like some a mother's name and her birth date, or some easy stuff which are easy to hack. So there is a password generator in the vault, but you do not have to go and always kind of do it within the vault. In the extension, you can see there is generator. So you can go to generator, and it will say what you would like to generate, and in our case it's password. So this password then you can copy and use it while setting up a new account and things like that. Or you, if you are changing your password in all applications, then this also comes very handy, because when you click refresh, it will keep on generating new passwords. The other thing is that you can also choose like the complexity of the password. If you need special characters in it, you can put it. So those are some interesting features it has. And Based on your settings, you can increase the number of characters in it, and it will work fine. So if you can go up to, I think, 65, more than 65 characters, but I think 30, 20, 30 characters would be more than enough. Generally don't need that long password, because some website might not support it. So yeah, that's there. So the password generator is there. The other feature is import data. So if a lot of you must be already using some existing password manager tool. So in case you want to shift from that password manager, it has almost all options of major password managers available in the market. You can easily export your data from your current password manager, and you can transfer it to Passvault. Similarly, you can also export the vault. So one use case, recently a user told me, is like, he said that he was also keeping backup. Like, since you can create you have to provide the master password, you can just easily create backup in file and keep it in USB just in case. So that is also one way of keeping backup of all your passwords. And similarly, you can export the data to other pass managers if you require in future. So those options are completely there. Then there is reports. So based on all your saved password, the password can easily tell you if any of your passwords are exposed, how many times you have reused password, the number of weak passwords that you have, which passwords are probably very weak and you need to change them. Then you unsecure website. If a website is with HTTP, there is a chance that there is a man in the middle attacks, which is basically someone in between who has access to your network, can kind of get the text or the password that is being sent. So HTTPS is always secure. So in case there is some link with HTTP, it will warn you that those are probably not very safe websites to browse, or if possible, put HTTPS so that it works. Then inactive two-step login. Basically, if you have not activated 2FA in the application that you have stored, it can check and tell you that okay, these are the applications where 2FA is not activated. So you can go there and activate them for more security. Data breach. So periodically there is like a lot of data dumps. I think Google also has them, and I think Pond Password or some website is there where you can. So here it is. So basically, it has all the database of the passwords that are hacked. So if you look at, they collect all the data from the dark web and store it. So it can check whether my account is in the hacked list or not. So it is. Yeah, I had intentionally created it. I had since activated 2FA, but I had found few years ago this email was actually in one of the databases. So as you can see, you can check, like, if your data is breached and some account is available in the dark market, and you can also then go to the link for this one and manually check whether it is there. So this is how the dark web monitoring works. And then there is the settings. The settings have my account basic, so you can change master password here. Options, you can choose lockout or lock or logout. In case of lock, basically the password gets just asks for master password. In terms of logout, it will re-authenticate with the MFA that you have set. Ideally, logout is more preferable, in my opinion, but lock is also fine for most use case. Organizations. So you can, since it is completely full featured, you can create as many organizations that you want, and click new organization, and then say Billing is generally not relevant, but in big enterprises, sometimes one department is billing the other department, so they just have this option. In most cases, you won't need it, and you should not be very bothered with this one. So yeah, the organization is set up. In few minutes, I'll also quickly show you what organization does. So yeah, I mean, it creates a new organization with its own vault, and here you can manage people. Like you can invite your team members within the pass manager, and within the pass manager, within the invite system, there is an option like what kind of access rights are there. So you can choose whether the person is going to be an admin, owner, manager, or a user. Also, there is access control, whether the user can modify all items or he cannot. uh, there is also collections, which I'll show you in some time. So you can also directly select um, which which features the which collection the user can use quickly. So that way, if you're onboarding a new team member, say from the designing, for the designing team, and you have a default application which you provide to the designers, then you can choose like the design collection, and automatically all the password assigned to the design collection will get the user will get access. The other thing is the you can set whether the password would be read only or hide password. But in terms of hide password, it is only hidden within the system. So if a person logs in, and their browser will show that can we save the password. So it's not like you can direct completely encrypt a password, because the way a browser communicates with the application authentication server is it has to send the password in some text form, which the browser can pick up. So there is no way that you can share like an encrypted password with your end user. But in this case, the user will not directly see within the password manager the password. It will just show that uh, it will just show copy option in that case. So that's pretty much it. So you can also invite 20 users at a time. You can just put comma, and it will work that way. So this is how this part works, and then there is collections, like I mentioned. So you can create new collection, like say I have a design team. So admin team. Admin team. Basically, I can create all these collections, and the passwords which I save in my vault, I can assign it to different collections. So the collections will directly show up here. One second. Yeah, see, the all the collections directly show up here, and then this password can be then assigned to a certain. First, you have to move it to the organization, and then you can also set it to a certain collection. So that way, what happens is all the password that you move to the admin team, whenever a new person is invited, and if you give them access to the admin team collection, they will directly have access to all the password in that particular collection. So it is very easy to kind of onboard people. The other thing is that you can create unlimited organizations. So, say if you're running two companies, separate companies, you do not have to have the same team. So, you can create as many organizations that you need, and you can easily kind of create this kind of a setup for sharing password. Also, individually, also you can share password with a certain team member, which is pretty much straightforward. You can just look into the app and just have all the option. So this is there, and organization is done. Then in settings, I'll show you the multi-factor auth is two-step login. So all 2FAs are there. So there is Authenticator app. If you are using Google Authenticator, it's totally supported. Auth is also supported. Then there is Ubico. Ubico, if you are not aware, is a hardware key based. It's like a USB. You insert it in your device, and it works like a 2FA kind of thing. So only if the hardware is present, it will allow you to log in. It's quite secure, and it is widely used as well. And there is Duo. Duo is a company from Cisco. Uh, so it is a very good form of security. I highly recommend it. I personally use Duo in my own Passvault. The uh, there is a free plan up to 10 users, and in your case you only need one user. So basically what it does is, if you try to log into your vault, it sends a push notification like Google does when you're trying to log in to your Google account, that do you approve the login on your vault, and only when you approve it, it will open. So if you look at the hierarchy of passwords, passwordless is probably the most secure. So in this case, you can use complete, like, this is technically very almost impossible to hack. Only if the person has access to your mobile phone, then probably it is at risk. But yeah, I mean, that is the only way it is possible. So unless it's physically someone has taken your mobile phone, it is not possible to hack. But it's a very secure way of uh, you know, what do you say, multi-factor authentication for your password manager. If you do not use YubiKey, YubiKey is also safe, because technically in push notification you are using a remote device, remote hardware as an authentication, which is what Duo does. So it is also completely supported. Um, there is one thing in for people who are using YubiKey. Currently, YubiKey needs the API authentication details to be fed in the system. So we are creating a form kind of feature where you can put those details, and it will automatically send us. It will automatically set up. But for now, if you want to kind of do it, you have to talk to our customer support or raise a support ticket, and we will get it done for you. So that part is a bit manual, but in this week or by the next week, it will be completely within the system itself. Then there is also WebAuthn. WebAuthn is basically passwordless kind of an infrastructure, but it's not really easy to set up. You need all kind of enterprise level equipments and things like that to kind of have that kind of network, and then only it will work. So I mean, if you want to read further, you can definitely find more details about it. I'm not demotivating anyone from setting it up, but it's not as simple as the other ones. And then of course there is email. So basically, if you activate email every time someone tries to log in your vault, you will get a message that this is the code, and then a person can log. So these are all the multi MFA is completely activated within the tool, so you can use that. There is domain rules which you can use, like say email of certain domains will only work. So those are the things you can, figure it out, and you can use it if you want to. So those all features are here. More or less, I think this is pretty much it. I've almost covered most of the parts. As far as the extension goes, I'll just quickly show you all the features within it, so you don't have to waste time. So yeah, I mean, go to my vault. Basically, store is like a smaller interface of the web vault, so you can quickly get all your logins. Then there is the send function. uh, we in If we choose a file to send, it will show like what is currently created, and the other files or texts which you have put out. So if you want to like stop them or delete them, you can do it from the this infrastructure itself. Generator I've already showed, so that is not something I'll go through again. Then in the settings, um, custom fields. Okay, later on I'll come to that. So these are you can also manage from the settings. Vault timeout. You can choose that when does the vault timeout. So on browser restart by default it will be set, but you can choose your own thing. Vault time action unlock with pin, you can also set pin with it. If you have biometrics, it does support biometrics. So in case of the mobile app, if you activate biometrics, so you can use your fingerprint to unlock the vault. So those all functions are there. Um, Two-step login is pretty much there. Change password, fingerprint phrase, import tool, export tool, options, other options. Yeah. So there are certain features which are there in the options field, which I'll quickly show because it might help and save you some time. So there is an option to disable automatic TOTP. So basically, automatic TOTP generation will stop if you want to kind of do that. Then you can disable change password. Those things are notification based. That is not that important. I'll show you. You can choose whether to here. Basically, if you provide a proper website, it will pick up the logo or the fabric one from the link and show. So you can enable disable that, but it's not really that important here. So there is an autofill. So some people like their passwords to be autofilled. I recommend against it. So any kind of autofill can be a little tricky, because if someone just sits on your computer and it starts autofilling, then yeah, I mean it's not the best thing. But in case if you want to, you can definitely activate it, and the extension will start to autofill your passwords. Also, one other important thing is that you can save multiple. Like if you have, say, two, three accounts of same application, then you can definitely save. And whenever you click on this extension, it will show you which login you need to do. And also, links are pretty well mapped, so you can put the URL properly, and you can choose the kind of match. So say if you have an web service or a SaaS where you have two logins, but the links kind of differ, so you can choose on which one it will show what. So all those features are there, and that's pretty much it, I think. Um, Rest, I've already created some guides, and I was thinking that if based on your queries, I'll further create the help docs. So in case you guys have questions, do ask them, because it will help me in creating more FAQ and making the process simpler. So that's pretty much it. If you have any questions, please put down. I'll try to answer them.
Okay, thank you, Agni. So I think you have done what quite a complete what you call walkthrough, and also all the features that are available. And there are some questions that need to be answered. So let me project it out, then you can see that.
Yes. Yes.
Can you
It,
see that?
it is, will it be safe as we store our password? How much safe it is? So yeah, Tanvir, see the password manager, on the server side, all the data is encrypted. I'm saying worst case scenario, if the server even gets hacked, the data on the server is completely gibberish. It only gets unlocked from the extension or the web vault if someone knows the master password. So along with the master password, if you activate a 2FA, which I suggested, like Duo or Authenticator, it's very impossible to crack the vault. So that way your passwords are completely safe. You can also go to the settings one second, and you can see the encryption. So it is basically this is some in a KDF algorithm encryption, which is quite safe. You can Google about it. So the encryption level is quite up to the standards. And this system is also verified by third party security audits. So it's definitely safe. I've been using it for 3 4 years, and it has been fine. And that I can tell. And there is also a lot of online communities where you can go and read about the safety. But again, I'm saying that it is very important to keep password. Master password, little hard, and 2FA, I would definitely recommend that everyone activates it, at least in your pass manager, because it's like literally your vault. And in digital age, it's basically a lot of money as well online. So that was, does password give an alert for password breach or vulnerable? Yes, it does. I think I did show you. So you have to go to reports and you can see exposed passwords. In this case, I've not saved any, and you can then click check passwords, check exposed passwords, and it will show you vulnerable passwords that are there if they are exposed. And in case of weak password, you can go weak also. You can check if you have created something like pass at 123 or some, yeah, like in this case I created something very weak, so it's showing very weak. So those things are there. And also reused password. If you're using your password, a lot of time what happens is, uh, it's not necessary that Gmail gets hacked. One of the way people have their account hacked is they use the same password everywhere. So if you have like kept the same password in your food delivery app and the same username, if the security of your food delivery app is not that great and it gets hacked, basically all your other accounts also get hacked. So it's very critical that you do not reuse your password as much as possible. But the problem is to remember so many passwords is very really inconvenient. So that is why you have a pass manager. I highly recommend you to get this. Can I know the future roadmap? What more features would be added? See, as far as features are concerned, these features are as advanced as it goes. It is top of the line. You use any kind of password manager tool out there in the market, LastPass, Dashlane, anything. It's almost all the features are out there are already there. Unless it's very critical, we won't be working on the application itself. Our primary objective is to kind of maintain the kind of host it properly, check the DevOps is okay, secure the vault properly, things like that. So as far as features are concerned, I don't think Passvault has any features that is missing. So that is in sharing versus just giving the credentials. I'm missing something here. I don't know. Yeah, so yeah, I mean, of course, you can give credentials to your team people, and there are many cases and stories. So one of the ways people used to do that sharing credentials was put it in a Google Sheets, and then they would share the sheet within the entire company or something like that. One of the flaws in this is, in any case, if there is a data breach, every data of the company could be gone. Can read many such case studies, and that is there. Also, um, it's a tedious process, right? If a person from designing joins your organization, every time then you have to kind of someone has to kind of tell them, okay, these are the files. In this case, you just invite, assign them the collection, and that's it. The person is good to go. Should we save blank password or such very common using? Should we save blank passwords?
Banking
Bank.
password.
Oh, see, yeah, I mean, most of the, I'm not sure about all countries, but in India, even if the bank credentials are there, there is generally MFA, like we get an SMS that, someone is trying to log in. So in case MFA is activated, you can securely store. It is pretty secure, but I don't know. I mean, if you feel like someone can physically access your device and take away something, it's like it's like a vault. It's very unlikely that some outsider can hack it. But if someone internally and you don't want to share, someone just comes to your home and you don't trust people around, maybe you should not keep it. Yeah. Like if you just keep your password open, you sitting in your office or someplace or cafe, and the password is open, and then the person sees, oh, he's put his bank login details, and his login, he might be able to see. So that is there. It depends. Like if you maintain the hygiene, then That is different thing. Please solve. I'm planning if this is fogged. Is it possible to additional option in password generator feature? Do you have roadmaps? Yeah, so yeah, we will follow mostly. This is fogged from Bitwarden. Yes, the front end is fogged, but the back end is not Bitwarden. It is Vault Warden, which is a Rust implementation, which actually makes the application quite faster as well. So that is there. Additional password generator features, I'm not sure. Like this, pretty much very exhaustive. If you could mention like what kind of other features you're looking in a password generator, I can definitely look into it. But as far as roadmap is roadmap goes, again the same thing. There's no feature missing. You're just getting a complete product, bug free. This is tested, verified, scrutinized by thousands of programmers worldwide. It's in public domain. The security is out there, so you don't have to kind of ask for features and unnecessarily create roadmaps. This is in my understanding, this is as complete as it goes. I've used multiple password managers from RoboForms. Then I've also tried Passcam, but so far my experience with this has been amazing, and you can also read about it. Saving password on your Google account. Yeah, I mean, saving password in your Google account, I am not sure, maybe in the browser, Google directly. Yes, it does sync. I don't know. I mean, it is generally not considered safe to kind of save uh, Google passwords in browser in general. So if you're, if you have the hygiene of taking each password and putting in Google manually and storing it like that, maybe it's possible. The other thing is there are no team features. There's no breach detection. You could use hundreds of times the same password. It will not warn you. Then at policy level, if you are using a password like it's this feature is for the teams, but if you can create policy for like the what kind of password can be created. So all these features, I think, are not in Google Pass Manager, because for Google, it's an option within the browser or the system, but it is Pass Manager is totally dedicated for your password. Custom field, how does it different? Where is purpose for custom field? Where is custom field? Let me check. How is it different from collection? One sec. Hit log off. Custom fields, I'm not sure. Like, where is this custom field?
Yeah, I don't
I
see that.
will address I will address it later, but right now I cannot find it. So I'm sorry, I cannot probably tell you where it is. Uh, hmm, Custom field, I'm not sure. No, if you're talking about folders, folders is basically if you want to organize your own passwords in certain fashion, you can create folders for that. Collection is more for sharing the passwords, because if you onboard a new person, you can share a particular collection to certain user and they will have access. Folders are not shareable, so that is probably the difference. But I'm not sure about custom field. Where is the data stored, and do you guys use swap? See, the data is completely stored in Netherlands, in Europe. So I've been with YISP. The data center is in Noord, Amsterdam. I visited there, and we have a small server rack. We have our own server rack there, so it's pretty safe. The company is YISP.nl if you want to check the server company. And do we have ISO app? We are using all app that is all Bitwarden apps you can use, so they are all fine. They are all scrutinized by third parties, so you can. We do not need to get secondary approvals as such. Yeah. Also, if you are worried in terms of how we handle data, so probably we are pretty much open. Like we even have a delete button. So in case you want to completely delete the entire vault and all the files in the server, we created this architecture keeping that in mind. So you can completely wipe out everything if need be. So if you need to kind of completely wipe out the vault, you can do it, and then you can again reinstall it as many times. It doesn't matter. It's all inbuilt in the system. And also, if you look at this button, there is you can request for all your data. So what it basically does is, if you request for the data, it will zip all your data that is hosted on the server and give it to you in a zip package. So if you want, you can either scrutinize it, or in future, if you want to, we don't even want to lock you in our system itself. If you feel confident enough to self-host it yourself, you can export it out, and then you can self-host it as well. So that option is also there. So that is something, the entire source code of your application you can download or delete. So both options we have already created. The other option which I did not mention was during the call was custom domain. So you can set up custom domain. Say if you are an organization and you want the password manager to work on only in your domain, so you can point it and host in your own subdomain as well. Um, it's not a client-facing tool, so I think Albert only asked me like, what is the benefit of having your own custom domain? The benefit is you can like use DNS tool like Cloudflare, and then you can create firewall rules. So you can disable certain countries from accessing your vault online, and so many other features. You can choose IP ranges and things like that. It's a bit complex, but if need be, you have custom domain on all plans, and you can get that level of security. If Bitwarden releases new features, does yes, more or less. There might be a difference in say few weeks, but 99% it will port in this one. So it there might be a time gap, but it will be there. Currently, it is matched. So whatever you see in Bitwarden, all the features are there. I also wanted to mention there are few features that are not there, which I'll quickly mention. That SSO. So there is no SSO available in this. So SSO is a very high-end enterprise level plan in Bitwarden, and it requires a different kind of setup, which is probably not something we want to get into as of now, because particularly of the team size, and also maybe when we grow we might think of it, but currently we do not want to go at that level. We're mostly targeting teams and businesses and things like that. So what will happen when you guys update? Any chance of losing data? So no, there is. So every time we update, so we have two servers. So one is the testing server. We are running few instances there, testing it, and if it works fine, then only we are pushing the updates here. So it's more like staging that we do in, like, if you have experience in WordPress, that is what we do. So there is a staging in a different server. We test it out. The other thing is that we do keep backups, and backup is stored in cloud, all encrypted. So in case there is a loss, we will have around we do keep backup of around 100 days or something like that. So that backup is there in case something like that happens. Also, I shared, in case you're too paranoid, you can also use once in a while you can quickly export all your world. It is the passwords are just few KB, so you can quickly save it in a file, keep it in a USB. It might help you keep more peace of mind. And any instance you can kind of you know put your password, and it will start working back the same. So these are some contingency redundancy ideas, but in general we will ensure that something like this does not happen. So backup is also there. Can we save? Yes, yes, yes. You can save in iOS. All applications are there. You can use Apple phone, MacBooks, wherever this application is there. You can definitely, there is um, desktop application for Apple, and then for browser is there. You can search Bitwarden in Android and Apple iStore, and you can find it there. New York Times. Ah, it was there. Okay, thanks. I'll quickly check it out. I've never used custom fields, but I'll quickly check what this feature does. Tell you. No. So this is something I have not explored. I'll quickly, kind of go through it. This does look like something new. Mm. What I am guessing is that it would try to match a certain value, and if it validates, then only it will prompt something like that. But again, this feature is something I have not explored. I did not use it. I did not come across. Thanks for pointing it out. But
Yeah,
yeah, I mean,
maybe later you
I
can answer that.
yeah, I'll make a video for it later on once I go through it and properly explain to you how to use that. Okay. Okay. One, help us auto-generate passwords. One feature request, help us to auto-generate password. Yes, it's is there password generator is there, so you can always use password generator to auto-generate password.
No, what he mean is auto generated, which mean you don't have to go and click generate.
I did not get you. So you do not have to do what?
No, which mean when you go into a field to what they call
Ah,
to key in a password, that the password actually automatically generated without you clicking it.
uh, I'm not sure about this feature. Again, I'll look into it, but I'm not. I've never used this feature directly, so this is not something I'm aware of. Auto generating passwords like this. I have seen sometimes it does give option. I'm not sure if it is from the browser or the password manager. It does give a hard password. I think currently Edge and Firefox currently I'm testing. They are currently suggesting a complicated password. One good thing is that you can quickly use those password and save them, and it will get stored in Passvault as well. So that way you do not have to remember the complex password. But I think Edge and Firefox I've tested. Definitely Chrome, they have an option where when you are filling up a form, it can generate auto generate complicated password for you. I have seen how it works, but I'll make a separate video showing how it gets done. Custom fields are useful for storing extra that you need with okay. So additional password and OTP overrides. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I mean I again like it had some option like Boolean and things like that. So it is definitely some logical thing going on. I probably will have to kind of use it before giving some generalized idea. Thanks, Lou, for kind of giving the information. This next question, if there is.
Okay, so let me show. This is a long question.
Okay, fine. Not sure what would be the advantage of using password in sharing password with teammates versus just. I think I replied them. No, this is like people were generally sharing in Google Sheets, and it's not. Yeah, I have kind of replied to this, but any case, I'll again reply. So basically, password managers are like you keep your passwords in an organized way, in properly encrypted manner. Create some hygiene within your organization about passwords, because especially after a lot of things have gone remote and advent of lot of digital, it's things are getting hacked a lot faster. So the advantage of password manager it gives you is it's like proper security that you need in order to kind of maintain the maximum hygiene possible within an organization. So that is very critical. Second thing is that it also makes your life easier. Like when you're onboarding a new user, you don't have to kind of give them password one by one. I once went to an organization, and the way the like one person sitting in the chair is asking someone, give me the login for this. That is how they are sharing. It's not okay. It's not probably the best way to do it. And I think password manager creates a better system to kind of handle this kind of scenario.
Okay, Agni, I think you have answered almost all the question, but some of the question are actually repeated, so no worry. So,
Yes.
okay, don't forget you have an announcement to make on the deal. Remember?
Yes. Yeah.
Just
So
tell them,
there's an
that is good news.
yeah. So I was wondering, and we ran some beta tests for 1.5 year for Passvault, and also I have now few LTD user already using the platform. So one request that came in was if we could increase the number of users, and based on the usage that we see in the server, especially the user creating new users is not consuming a lot of resources. So, with after discussing with Albert and come to a conclusion that the startup plan, which is currently at a discount at $39, instead of 5 users, you will have 20 users, and on the team plan, which is at $79 for the first 2 weeks, instead of 10 users, you will have 50 users. We are doing it because we want more and more teams to adopt password managers in general without increasing a lot of costs. If you look at the comparable value, if you uh, choose any other password manager that has all these features, per user cost is almost uh, $4 to $5 average per user. So it is quite a high cost. It sometimes demotivates teams to not adopt password managers. So one of my objective is also using open source so that world class tools can be provided at affordable costs. The goal with the LTD is to kind of get more feedback before we hit the market and iron out if any. We have tested on our end, but if any bugs, and also complete all our documentation properly, because we want users to ask us things so that we can improve the situation. I would say it's a very good deal, and for the plans, the new limits will show quickly. Currently, it's open. So yeah,
Okay, thank you for
that's
your what I call announcement. I think I mean this password manager password will be very good if you actually run an organization or you have a team of people, especially remote team. It give you a lot of users. So I mean for the what they call startup plan is 20, and then for the team plan is 50, right? Okay, so guys, this is a good deal. Don't miss it. And the 20% discount coupon will be valid for 2 weeks. After that we will increase the price. Not increase the price. We will take away
there
the
is
discount code. Okay, so
so
this is the time for this giveaway. So let me share my screen. Annie, can you just disable, stop sharing your screen? Maybe
my screen. Yeah, one second.
okay, let me share my screen.
I've removed my screen. Is that
Yeah,
okay
yes,
now?
correct. Yeah, remove it. So let me share my screen. So this is the views of name. I have actually collected all the names of the participant. I mean, not participant, the attendees. Hold on, let me control. Okay, guys, please check your name, whether your name is available here. If not, let us know. I will just add it in last minute. So these are all the attendees. There is I have seen, but sometimes I could have missed it, because it's actually copy and paste from, not copy and paste. I have to tap everyone, from the from this Facebook or from the dashboard. Okay, from here we will actually draw two prices for the startup plan, and the last price, that is the team plan. Agni will ask a last question for people who answer it correctly. So for this views of name, we will only give you two winners. That is the startup plan.
Oh, I have to ask a question. Sorry, like
Later. You ask later. Let me finish
okay,
this
yeah,
first.
fine.
Okay.
Yeah, I got it.
So guys, are you ready? You are ready? I will just spin. Okay. Let me do the shuffling to make it more random. Okay. I will spin once to get the first winner. Let's go. Oh, Anoka Pardon. Congratulations. You are the first winner for the startup pen. I will remove your name. Then I'll shuffle again. I'll spin the second time. Let's go. Chris Ho. Okay. Before we actually award you, can the winners type your name there so that to show that you are around? If you are not around, then we have to respin again.
I think
Okay, Anoka, you are around. I'm not sure about Chris Ho. Apparently, he's not around.
okay. The other person is also not there, no? Yeah, this.
Yeah, I can. I don't see him. He's responding, but no. But Anoka, pardon, is just is already stated that he's there.
Okay, good.
Calling one, calling two. Okay, so I think Chris Ho is not around. I don't see him asking any question, so I will just spin one more time.
Yes.
Okay, guys, get ready. Oh, there's no person. I think there is a blank name. No? Sorry. Let me spin again. Sorry. Okay, Sashwal Bajini, are you around? Please state your name if you are around. Very likely he's not around. Because sometimes people don't ask question. I just can make a guess. So Sashwal, if you are around, please type your name to show that you're around, or else I will just spin again until we get a winner. I mean, there are 20 over of you are here. Should we spin again? Annie, you can see that, sometimes you have to do a few times,
Yes. Let's quickly do it in case the person comes back. We will see.
Okay, let's spin again.
Yes.
I mean, sorry, you have to be fair, if you are not around, then we have to spin
Yeah.
again. Let's go. Oh, Jacqueline, I see you answering a few questions. Let us know whether you are around.
He has commented like few minutes ago. So he is there, I think.
Jacqueline Koskospi. I mean, I can't pronounce it.
Yes. The person is there.
Okay,
It's Jack.
congratulations, Jacqueline.
Yes.
Congratulations.
Got it.
Okay, let me unshare the screen. Show our face. So, Agni will ask the last question to decide the winner of this team plan. Okay,
Okay,
so
so
are you ready? And audience, please listen carefully. The first person who answer correctly will win the prize. Go
what
ahead.
is the benefit of
Oh, we can't
what
hear
is the
you.
benefit? You cannot hear me?
Go slow. Go slow.
Okay. So, question is, what is the benefit of sending file through Passvault? Am I audible?
Nobody answer anything.
I think maybe us two. Yes, yes, yes. The person has answered.
So Alberto.
Alberto Oliveira. Yes,
Okay.
Alberto Oliveira. Yes, he has answered properly. Yes, correct.
Actually, it's a very simple answer, but it can be a very complicated answer, you know. But then,
Yes.
congratulations, Alberto. So, okay, I let before we finish, let me. I see through the chat because Tashwal came in after we spin the name, you know. So, did you see that? Let's check.
I cannot see.
No, I have to because it's difficult to see in the dashboard, but I have to go back to the Facebook to check. You know.
Yeah, no, I cannot see. Sajwal is not there. No. As far as I can see, I cannot see his name anywhere. So it's not there.
Okay, never mind. So we have actually decided the winners. So I will just post an official announcement in what you call in our Facebook, and we have to end this because it's getting very late, half an hour
Yes,
over the limit.
yes,
And
yes,
before we
yes.
go, I would like to say thank you to especially Agni, the founder of this Password, and he actually and his team actually put in a lot of effort over the last 3 years to get it up for you guys. You know, if you think that you need this one, please go ahead and buy it at a 20% discount at the moment. If not, we have to actually reduce the discount later. So, Agni, you have anything to say?
Oh, thank you, everyone. It was really nice that you guys joined, and the questions were really great. It also helped me think like some of the documentation I would definitely improve on. And thank you, everyone. It's been amazing being here. Thanks to Albert as well. Albert, your flow was amazing. So I it is my first time doing a webinar like this, so I did not feel very uncomfortable. I think Albert did a great job in structuring the show. So thank you, Albert, a lot. Yeah.
Okay, I'm just trying my best. Okay, guys, thank you for your time, and we hope to see you guys again in the next webinar or Facebook Live with other founders. And with this, I would like to wish Agni all the best for your launch, and I hope that our members can support you uh, by actually using it. Most important thing, and give you feedback. You know, whether they buy or not is another matter. Okay, good. Bye bye.
Stay safe.